Hello y'all, I know it's been a long time since I made a video, but I thought I would make a video on my favorite game, Rainbow Six Siege, to make up for it. I know it's probably going to fill the comment section anyways. Why do you disappear every time you make a video? Hey man, I was in college. I had work to do. Now I've graduated, and I have nothing. So what is Rainbow Six Siege? Rainbow Six is a tactical shooter. The other most notable tactical shooter is CSGO. Notable differences between Rainbow Six and CSGO include the inability in CSGO to aim down sights on most guns unless it has a scope or something like that. God forbid you use the gun that has a suppressor already on it, because then you're going to be mid-firefight unscrewing the damn thing and you're just going to get killed. Rainbow Six also has a hero shooter like attribute to it as well. So you have different operators or heroes that have special loadouts and abilities on their own, while CSGO is purely just focused on the shooting. The inability to aim down sights is something I've never really understood from CSGO, because you'd think with a tactical shooter you'd want to be able to use the iron sights or any sights really, just to be able to look in a little closer, and that's how you use guns in real life. The only gameplay I've seen that makes good use of not aiming down sights would be like Doom and Pavlov, which Pavlov seems like a strange fit, but we'll get to it. With Doom, everything is all about speed, doing damage, and keeping moving, so it doesn't really matter if you can aim down sights. You need to keep moving so you can dodge more hits and live longer. Unless you're using like the heavy assault rifle and you're using the scope on it. With Pavlov VR, you would most of the time use the sights, don't get me wrong, but there are advantageous times not to use it. Shooting around corners, or if there's somebody on a other side of a barricade, you can kind of just reach over and get them before they stand up and get you. So you may be asking yourself, well, what about COD or Black Ops? What separates Siege from those games? Call of Duty and Black Ops and my footages from Warzone are all fall into more of the action game category, where everything is all about high speed action and being fast and accurate is like the primary play avenues. With Rainbow Six, there's a huge emphasis on thinking about how you approach problems. So if you're an attacker, the problem is figuring out how you're going to get from spawn into objective, and then either defuse bomb, secure area, or if you're feeling brave, extract the hostage, RIP hostage. In order to get into sight and do what you need to do to secure the win, whether that be kill the entire 5 stack on the enemy team, or secure objective and then protect it from the enemy team so that you secure victory, you need to figure out ways into sight, use observation tools to find enemies and either avoid or eliminate them, use utility to clear traps or other enemies. There's also a huge emphasis on opening lanes of travel. So if you want to go into sight, or if you think you can't just walk in the door without dying, you can open up drywall or use hard breaches to open reinforced walls in order to give you a line of sight into objective in order to clear out enemies and secure the win. As a defender, your job is to secure objective. So you will use traps, observation tools, reinforcements, and possibly roaming strategies in order to eliminate the attacking team so they cannot secure the objective, or run out the time so that you have successfully protected the objective. The beauty of this formula is that there is almost an infinite amount of ways you can approach this problem, whether that be an aggressive approach or hunkering down and making the enemy come to you so that you can eliminate them one after another, or you could leave sight completely alone, take down all of the walls, and sit on the other side of the map and wait for them to walk in so you can kill them from the other side of the map. The possibilities are only limited by what you can prepare for. And that's the beauty of Siege, is you have this opportunity for complex plays to be put into place at any point in time. It gets easier the more you're able to communicate and plan with your team, but you still have the enemy team to deal with. You never know what they have up their sleeve. The pacing in Siege can be kind of slow for some players, especially people who grew up in the era of COD. Siege, I'd say, is like a medium speed game. It doesn't play as slowly as something like PUBG, where you spend 30 minutes looting, trying to get any gun that is semi-usable, and then, get wiped out in the first 30 seconds of your first encounter, maybe with somebody you didn't even see coming. Siege has opportunity to be slow, but the rounds are relatively quick. The action that you get to can be very fast paced. You could have multiple aggressors that you're fending off at any one time. But you also have plenty of opportunity to prepare for those opponents and set up the objective in ways that maybe they funnel in a few at a time, or set up traps so that you can wait for them to get hurt and then approach them, just in order to maximize your possibility of a win. I've personally seen rounds where one person in my team had walked in and killed all 5 of the people on the opponent team by themselves in not much time. There's also equal opportunity for the match to play out very slowly, where both teams know that the other's not playing around, and that if they don't take it seriously, they'll just be wiped out, which is a very valid concern, because there's teams that just have it together. You'll come across them every once in a while. It seems like they're cheating. They're just communicating so well. With all this to consider, learning Rainbow Six was a challenge all of its own. When I first started, this was like the first-person shooter I'd ever really gravitated towards. I'd mostly played GTA, and I played some Payday, but I still don't like Payday. But this was the first pure FPS that I actually gravitated towards. So I had to learn to shoot, and I had to learn all the basic FPS stuff, like how the flashbangs worked, or throwing grenades and how that works in game, because I just didn't know. GTA, you just throw them. You don't worry about how they actually behave, because what, I'm just gonna buy another. I'll just rob a convenience store and use the money just all for grenades. But in Siege, I had to learn the guns and everything basic to an FPS first, and then I had to learn how to use the utility and like the gadgets that are specific to Siege and the operator specific gadgets to really know what was going on in the game. So we would play 1v2s and Tyler would like hang back and let me try and figure out how to like approach site or what to do in order to gain any measure of success against my opponents. Cody. Often I found myself thinking, well, I'm not good at the game. I don't know enough to just attack directly and it go well. So I would use deception tactics. I would try and like blow up multiple points of entry to distract my opponents and get them to look around for where I'm going to enter, and then, you know, loop back to like either loop back to something I'd blown up previously or just quietly knock open a door on the other side of the map just to sneak in. That way they never knew where I was or what was going on. I figured if I could keep them guessing, that would be the best way for me to get a chance at a cheap headshot on them or something. And eventually it paid off. I eventually got it. I can kind of contend with them now. They're better at video games than me. Imagine that. I only started gaming when I was 16. From there, we moved to fighting against bots. At first, fighting against bots was too much for me. I would open a window and get shot, or I would get scared by somebody and then I just couldn't aim. I couldn't respond to them shooting at me. Bots back then were also a lot scarier. Oh shit. From there I ventured into online, playing with Tyler and Cody. And I was instantly daunted by the constant stream of people making insane plays that I had no idea how they pulled off, or racists and people team killing. Because team killing back in 2018, there was no punishment for it. You could kill the entire team and all that would happen is that everyone on the team would report you, and it might not even result in a ban. Nowadays, they have a system where you get one. You can kill one teammate, and then if they don't mark it as unintentional, the next time you kill a teammate, it will kill you instead. And that's a good lead into our next segment. The problems with the community of Rainbow Six Siege. And in order to more adequately address that, I arranged a interview with one of my friends, CloverAndOut. She's a Siege streamer. She's been playing since 2017. Why are you listening to me? Let's go listen to what Clover has to say. I'm not really one for like super like formal intros, so like drinking is a thing people do on interviews, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit, are we
Cheers.
going out the bottle? Fuck, alright.
Yeah, I'm taking a pull. Ugh, gross.
This shit's good. Alright, well I guess I should probably say your name so I don't just put in the clip and forget to introduce you. Welcome, Clover. CloverAndOut.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Canoe. Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. But yeah, I'm kind of just looking at Siege and talking about like things in the community and like trying to highlight like changes that have happened over like maybe like the period that we've both been playing. I've been playing since 2018. How long have you been playing?
So I've actually been playing. I got a year on you. So I've been
Oh,
playing since 2017.
sick.
I played on a gaming laptop.
Oh man.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it was tough, but I did it.
Yeah. I had one of those too, and I had like an Asus one, and the GPU like had heat death.
Oh no.
Like fried the whole motherboard because you can't just replace the GPU.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah. But I know for sure. I back that long ago, I started playing in like custom matches. Then I went to bots. Must have been like 6 months before I actually played against real players.
Hmm.
What kind of like changes in community and like activity have you seen in the time that you've played? And I'm sure your experiences will vary from mine.
Well, yeah, I think that's an interesting point about how you play like kind of against bots because they have the newcomers playlist now. So I think that might help then when with people starting out. But generally, I did find that the community is not particularly welcoming to new players. I think that
Right.
now with the newcomers playlist, I think it's a lot better,
Yeah.
giving them a place to actually learn.
Yeah, that's a huge thing because I remember like it was months before I think it was like a whole month before I got my first kill in a
Oh my
game. Yeah,
gosh.
it was bad because this was like the first FPS that I actually like grappled to. It was like, oh, I really want to get good at this.
Right,
Yeah.
agreed. Yeah, and I felt that too. It's like and the game is so taxing in the beginning that you really want to be good at the game. So you just keep running in and wanting to play it
Right.
Call of Duty or something where you can just W key around, but it's definitely not the case with this game.
Yeah,
So
because that's what it like early on. That's kind of how it seemed to me that things were happening. Is just like you'd see somebody that like appear out of nowhere and then they kill three people and disappear. But
right.
apparently, there's more to it than that. But
Apparently, a lot more to it actually.
yeah, it was like a little while into me playing the game before like I knew anything about like problems with like cheating in the game or like smurfing or anything. So
Mhm.
I didn't really understand or process that. What was there like a certain point where you noticed like more cheating and stuff like that or like or toxic
Well,
experiences maybe?
yeah. I actually felt that I kind of agree. I like didn't really pay attention or notice it too much initially. I probably just thought I was just that bad that, people were just, you know,
Right,
stomping all
right,
over me that hard. But I feel like it's definitely I can't tell if it's the fact that I'm paying closer attention or if it has gotten worse over time, but
right,
the way I see it is that it's gotten a lot worse, or it's because we're playing in higher skill level. That
right.
when you play in higher skill level, there's more cheaters there that make their way up there just because they're cheating. So
Right. And for me, that's not even that much higher, but
right,
like, or at least it feels that way. But
yeah, you go from bronze 4 to bronze 1, and then
oh
you're
yeah, I'm like, I'm the
stuck in
shit,
bronze.
dude.
Yeah, exactly. There's a 1 next to the rank, so it
Yeah,
must be good.
yeah. I don't think like the first time I played ranked, I didn't understand how that ranking system worked. So I thought that because I was silver 1, I was about to lose my silver rank. I
Hmm.
thought I was like doing poorly. I was like, oh shit,
Oh,
oh no, I don't want to lose this, so I stopped playing for the season. I could have gotten
oh
gold.
yeah, but so you're so close to gold. You
Yeah,
should have just
yeah. But I didn't know. Yeah,
got to do your research a little bit.
yeah. I was like, oh, it's Siege. Surely I can just go in and I can figure it out. But it's played so much differently.
Right.
Yeah. So obviously there's some differences between you and I. One of those
Some.
yeah, one of those chiefly being you're a girl, and
Mhm.
I've heard from many people that I've played games with that toxicity towards women is much worse just across the board gaming than it is towards me who just has shitty aim. You want to like speak towards that a little bit, or like give us an example or anything?
Yeah, I actually have given this a lot of thought lately, and I do think that Rainbow Six Siege is a very unique game in which it relies very heavily on team play and teams coordinating with one another in order for them to win. And that means that voice comms are really important.
Right.
And that, I think, it really came to light for me, the real amount of racism and sexism in the community is because I talked more in the game to communicate. And when you're in any other game that, you have text chat, people can't hear if you have a high-pitched voice or a low-pitched voice. So since this game context is so different, it's so much easier to just pick apart someone by just the tone of voice.
Right.
And I found that it is constant, pretty much. It's either you will either have like someone who is awful to you and making terrible, terrible remarks, or they just lose it and they're just like, oh my god, it's a girl, everyone be cool.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like, they're both bad, if I'm going to be honest. Obviously, it's kind of, I don't like hearing the negatives, but I also don't like, the people that just freak out and just want to treat me with like a queen. And I'm just like, I'm just here to game.
Right, right.
Yeah, I think that's a really big thing that I've experienced while in the game. And it's made me not even like want to talk in the games and just...
Right. One of my friends I've talked to, like, anytime she plays any game where she has to use voice comms, she uses a voice mod that makes her sound... She says she sounds like Alan Rickman when she's playing. Alan
Rickman, huh? Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, yeah, well, they know it sounds weird, but they don't know why, so they leave me alone about it.
Honestly, it's pretty brilliant, but it's very sad that it comes to that.
Yeah.
Like, it really shouldn't, and I'm hoping that getting more visibility to women in gaming and people, I think, it's still good to, openly communicate in games and get people used to the idea that there are girls in your lobby and you don't need to freak out over it.
Yeah.
I think those are really good solutions, but to avoid it altogether, the voice changer is brilliant.
Yeah. And I hate that it's even a thing. Like and I wish I knew that it was like isolated to Siege or like any one game. But I mean, even like you go in like VR chat, it's like I don't even like frequent the game, but like you join in. I'll join in with one of my friends from Noobcraft, Azzy, and like she'll just be like talking to me, and like people just kind of like flock over to her. It's like,
wow,
like just act
normal. No, just be like, normal. We're just people.
We're all just gamers, dude.
Yeah, we're all just gamers. But yeah, it's just so interesting. It's like you end up being a target kind of no matter what game you're in which people can find out that you're a girl. And it's really interesting too. It's like if I end up, I've also noticed that depending on how I end up playing, people may treat me different. Like if I play really well and I make really good call outs and I'm like showing people who's boss in the lobby, I will get really aggressive comments and they will not be very happy with me.
Really? I thought that would like help, but
I'm hoping in the long term it'll help, but I think if they get a little intimidated. So.
Oh, my fragile identity. I need to protect it. Oh my god. Imagine.
But yeah, people are more, I think if you're more like, oh, I'm here to have fun, I'm just chilling, then people are like more cool with you. But I'm a very competitive person. I get flamed a lot, but I think everyone gets flamed in Rainbow Six. I think it's a pretty big community issue at this point too. So like if you have a bad game, you're gonna get bullied for it.
Yeah, or I know, like, especially for me, my stats were a huge thing because like I have like even like not a bad KD, like almost just like a support KD, like a .06 or something like that. And you know that you see like pros that have that KD because they play support roles. They're after objective. You know, they're not just running in, killing 3 people, then dying. But it seems to be like a lot of people. I guess I just assume it's from Call of Duty, where like the only other place I've ever heard people talk about KD is like, oh well, you're under 1, so it sucks. Like, come on.
I know. It's like that threshold getting to 1. And I've been it's something, you know, and it's hard not to fall into that trap, and I'm guilty of doing that where I have looked at my KD from when I started to now and how much it's improved, and that gives me that, you know, that dopamine hit of like gratification.
Right.
Even I don't know. So and also the fact that people look at it makes it that much more important.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so it seems like this huge thing, but in reality it could have like negligible effect on actual gameplay. Like, what if you were just a Monty main? You know?
Yeah,
you
well,
play
it's
Monty
true.
Clash, like you never kill anyone. You're just like a walking drone.
Right, exactly. And I think that it kind of really resonates the importance of even like playing as a team, playing with a team. Because when you play as a team, you understand then and able to talk to each other about, hey, you know, I'm gonna play Monty and be a support character, and you know, if people aren't playing as a team or communicating, how do you know how to actually approach the game?
Right. Yeah, I feel like there's also like a huge deal like recently. I guess it's been like the last year. I've noticed that there's a lot more people that just won't use comms. Like they won't listen to them. If they hear people at all on them, they just mute them right away. Whether they give like good call outs or not, they're just like, oh well, I don't want to deal with this. I want to sit here and like watch my YouTube video while I struggle in this game and wonder why I struggle.
Right. And yeah, and that's just, I think that might be the fact that people haven't played a game like Siege where it actually is really important to listen. It's not, again, I keep using Call of Duty as the example, but it's like I can listen to music and play Call of Duty.
Right.
But the second I turn on Siege though, I mute everything.
Right.
And I'm listening. So
I need to hear their toes, like.
Well,
constantly.
that's the thing, is you can also hear gadgets, you can hear types of guns, so you can identify operators based off of the shots that you hear from across the map. So it's actually pretty important.
Yeah,
but
it's huge, for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know even what would even be a solution for that kind of issue. Like, how do we get people to actually work as a team in Siege?
I don't know, because like it seems like in every elo I have had experience in, like from rock bottom to like when I play with Tyler, like nearly plat, where like at least like casual plat, where like you can see it on R6 tracker but you can't see it anywhere else in the game.
Right.
Like there's still people that do things that don't make sense and like are just playing to play, I guess, instead of playing to win, which I guess is valid, but like at the end of the day it's a team game and you have to like be there for your team, otherwise you're just letting people down.
Yeah, and I guess it's very different between obviously quick play and then even from quick play to unranked. I still feel like unranked should still be a practice for ranked.
Right.
So I feel like in unranked and ranked is when you really need to do that team play. And quick play you can yeah, it's fine if you really want to not communicate or not play as a team. It's frustrating as more of seasoned players because we know the benefits of playing as a team, but yeah.
Yeah, because it literally one call out can change the entire outcome of the game. Like I've had so many times where like I'll hear it doesn't even necessarily have to be a correct call out. It's just like somebody saying, "Oh, this person over in this direction," and I might hear them in a completely different direction, but at least I know to look for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you know to take context clues if you know someone's lurking or if someone's in a general area. But yeah, without the communication, there's really no way. And I've seen really good players obviously work without any help. But, we're talking about, not to put you in a box, Canoe, but we're talking about us mid-tier players.
Yeah. Yeah, versus
no, I'm kidding.
Actual like pro league players. Like watching them is like they're playing a completely different game. Which
I
is
know.
Another problem I have with the game because like they base changes they make on them, and they don't address spawn peaks or runouts because like those are not legal in pro league. You get kicked out for that.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And I do hope that they continue because they have done map reworks a lot lately, and I do hope that they continue doing that, addressing more casual player concerns. And I think they did do that on a couple maps where there was some just bull spawn peaks.
Yeah.
They were just so frustrating. It's like, why do
it's like
anyway.
What is that construction spawn on house where you can just run out of a window and see the whole like 5 stack out in there?
Right.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, there's a lot, but yeah, I'm hoping that they continue the reworks, but also they also need to push new content,
right? And
not skins.
Yes. That I've heard that from a lot of people. Like they want like maybe like deathmatch or like something other than just TDM, where it's just like team deathmatch plus objective, like stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that because the only way to really practice outside of a game is terrorist hunt, and that's not that doesn't replicate what's going on or what another player would act like in a certain situation. So I do think that a death match would be incredibly helpful. I don't know how that. I guess it would mean that you would have a pretty new, like you just go in as like recruit and choose your gun or something, because you wouldn't. It would be kind of be.
I don't know, or maybe it'd be attackers only, so you can't have like pre-placed things. Maybe
that's a good idea. Yeah, I think attackers only would be good.
Yeah.
It's just, I just don't understand how some of the operators would work in that situation. Or maybe they select a few that would actually be appropriate for that situation. But
yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Or it could just be, recruit rush. They could call it that and make the meme alive.
Yeah. Just feed off what the community already does constantly.
Right.
Recruit LMG or you die.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I have I'm guilty of team killing because someone didn't go recruit.
I think we all are, honestly.
Right.
Oh man.
So I've taken a break a little bit recently, but one thing that I had issue with when I was playing it a couple of years ago was, are they doing a lot in terms of regulating behavior and improving the way you report players for misconduct, or even just enabling, or just not, or making sure they're not enabling this behavior?
Right. They give like ban notifications now, so if like something you reported gets like results in a ban.
Right.
But other than that, they took away. I really liked they had a voice abuse report button for a bit, and that was huge because anytime somebody would just come out swinging with the N word, I'd just like give them
God.
that real quick and then like move on, mute them, and move on with my stream.
Right.
But they took that away.
Why did they take that away?
I don't know. Maybe they lost too
Because-
many players.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though, is that's exactly, go to my prior point, that's exactly what I had issue with, is when I would speak and I would get voice abuse back.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that they had that's fantastic, but I wish they would have kept it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That went away. I always take issue with people with barcode usernames where it's just all
yeah.
like vertical lines.
Yeah, just like L's and
Yeah.
ones and capital I's or something.
Yeah, I think they do that so you can't like type it in and like remember how many like vertical bars they had or whatever.
Or yeah, like to actually type a report
Yeah.
on them, you can't actually get the username.
Yeah, like if you have to like report them after the match, but if you're in the match, I don't think I've ever gotten a successful report on a barcode. Like,
Really?
That a lot of cheaters go with barcode usernames, and that's bullshit. And like, I know that content creators use barcode usernames so they don't get griefed in game. Like,
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah, while they're like streaming or something,
Yeah.
which is like it's a pretty good like idea because you can't say, oh, that's Marley, I better like a team kill him real quick.
Right.
But no, that's always been like a huge issue that I don't think it's gonna go away. Honestly, I think a lot of the community moderation stuff, they don't have the ability to like moderate, and like Smurf accounts are like a huge deal, but I don't know that they're doing anything for that either. I heard like some story on Reddit about like some user who like contacted Ubisoft support for help like setting up their Smurf account, and the representative on the phone was like, oh, you can't have two accounts, that's not a thing. And then the dude just listed off 10 streamers that had Smurf accounts, and they just hung up on him.
Wow.
Like they just don't want to address it. They don't have, of course that's from Reddit, so it could just be a lie because Reddit is the lying site.
Yeah, I know, but part of me isn't surprised.
No, me either.
I wouldn't think that is totally out of left field.
Yeah, for real. But no, I don't know when or if they're gonna get their act together on community stuff. But that seems to be a universal problem with games. I mean, just look at Minecraft and what they do to Twitter.
Oh my gosh. What's been going on there? You need to tell me more about that. I'm not as into the Minecraft.
I then spent the next half hour describing the downfall of man. Alright, well, I think that is all we have on Siege here. On my very small 3-question list, I think we've gotten to it all.
Yeah. You can cut a lot of what we talked about probably, but
Probably. Well, it should be good, though. So, where can the people find you?
oh, you can find me at twitch.tv/CloverAndOut. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram at the same handle, CloverAndOut. I appreciate you wearing the Virus shirt. I'm a part of a stream team for Virus Co. So, hey, I appreciate you representing that. And yeah, check out Virus Co. on the same platforms as well.
All right. Thank you so much for giving me your time today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Beyond the community issues, there's also a few technical issues with the game. Comms are broken and unreliable. More often than not, this is caused by a Windows issue, like reassigning what device is going to be your input for your comms, But honestly, the game could just have you select from within the game, and that would circumvent the entire problem. And it shouldn't even be that hard, because that's like the legacy way of how you would select devices. It's like Adobe Premiere, you still have to like select your headphones inside the application in order for your output to go to your headphones. It's an easy fix. I feel like that one is a no-brainer. There's also the ranked elo gap. First off, ranked is kind of unappealing to me right now. There's a huge problem with people leaving matches right now, because, you know, the only thing that's going to happen to them, which I guess I don't know what else you do, is like they leave a match. If they don't rejoin before the match ends, they get a 30-minute ban from playing online, or from playing ranked. There's also a huge problem with throwers, and I guess it comes back to community, but like people who will throw games so that they can move down in rank and play easy games. They don't have to fight against people their actual rank. They don't have, I don't know, they don't want to improve at the game, I guess. Like, just play casual. Like, occasionally you just get a brain dead lobby they're just so easy. Like, either they all run out after you as defenders, or like they just have no ability to respond to gunfire. Just play casual. You'll get some easy games in there. You'll also get some of the hardest games you'll ever play in there. Also, right now, you can't, if your friends are outside of a 700 elo swing from you, elo being the points that you have within the ranked playlist. So if you are not within a 700 MMR swing of each other's score, you can't play together. And my friends are better than me. They've been playing games since they were like 6. So yeah, my friends are better than me. I'll be the first to admit it. I'm not that amazing. I hold my own. I make some good plays, as you've seen through my B-roll somewhat. But whenever we get into those higher elo lobbies, it gets harder for me to keep up. Now for my least favorite: spawn peeking and runouts. Ubisoft refuses to address spawn peeking and runouts because they base changes in the game off of pro play. In pro play, if you run outside of the building at all, you don't come back to pro matches. You get fired. In quick match, running out like all the way into attacker spawn is possible. Your location will be revealed the entire time you're outside, but so just shoot better and you could get them. I kind of wish that they would implement the 10-second death counter that they have in Terrorist Hunt. Like, if you're in a defending terrorist hunt and you run outside, you have 10 seconds, and if you don't make it back inside by the time 10 seconds hits, you die. And then your team is punished for your stupidity. If that made its way into online play, that would be huge, because then people wouldn't go for these like huge runouts outside, like running into spawn, or like running outside and like killing 5 people then coming in. You know, they'd be forced to do quick moves out, you know, maybe shoot a little, back in. And as far as spawn peaks, that's also a bannable offense in Pro League. If fucking Bolo comes up, smacks a window, shoots somebody in spawn from like a window, that's not going to end well for him. It's not going to spark any conversation in Ubisoft. Oh, maybe we should fix our maps so that you can't see into spawn, or like areas close to spawn. Maybe spawn peeking and runouts are my biggest issues with playing right now. Again, I don't want to sound like I mean like people shouldn't be able to look outside. They shouldn't be able to go outside. Defenders shouldn't be able to like look outside or jump out of the building to like take care of people. They should have to do it in a smart way. Sure, looking outside you can do whatever, but I don't think you should be able to see spawn. You know, you should at least have like a little buffer so that the team can disperse, and you know, they don't have to worry about losing half the team in the opening seconds, or like getting nitroed from in the building, which I don't think that's possible because I haven't seen it, but my point stands. Now, despite all these shortcomings, Rainbow Six Siege has been my favorite game for a long time. Since 2018. It's constantly been a journey, like figuring out first how to play an FPS, second, how do you outsmart your enemies, third, oh god, I'm dumb again, why has the meta changed, what the fuck is a meta? It's been an evolving adventure ever since launch, and while I think it's starting to slow down in year 6 of the game, I think it's still a promising game with plenty of quality, and it will definitely be one of those games that I always like hold a high place in my heart for. The concept alone is really thrilling to talk to people about because it's so detailed and there's so many possibilities on how you take care of the same problem, and it's always interesting to see how these matches go, because you start off the match with a plan, or the round with a plan, and then you try to execute the plan, and along the way you run into roadblocks and you solve them, or you die, and that constant problem solving makes for a compelling experience. I hope they are able to keep the community there, and they have the ability to fix some of the things that have been plaguing the game so long, like smurfing and all that stuff. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I'm looking for a job. So if you know somebody who needs a video editor, or you know a business that needs a video editor and you're willing to reach out to me, please do. Please tell me where I should apply, or if you happen to be a hiring manager and you see this nicely made video that I've put together with my own gear and time, please consider hiring. This is so weird. If you're not an employer and you would still like to show me some love, feel free to have a look at my Twitch. Twitch.tv/I'm Canoe. Come over there, show me some love. Maybe hit me with your Twitch Prime. I'm about to release some new bit emotes. Here, have a look. I think they look pretty good. I've really been wanting to work on more emotes for a while, but I didn't realize I had the slots. It's a shame that these are like behind an additional paywall versus like just normal what you get from subscribing. But I like them. I feel like people will enjoy them. So, okay, I'm done rambling. Thank you all so much for coming out today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Oh my god. It was like the longest writing experience I've had for video in my life. I swear, I didn't think it'd ever end. I'm so glad to be sitting here recording it.